Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Closers, where we interview a top performing BDM in the property management space and learn how they are growing their business. And Jesse started with RPM First Choice almost a year ago, and he has been quickly recognized in the office as a standout BDM. And within his first few months, he helped an investor out of California with a 1031 exchange, which was over $1 million of real estate. He is super humble and doesn't like to brag about his success, but he is himself a real estate investor and embodies a trusted advisor. Jesse, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Drea, for having me. I don't know that my wife would agree with you that I'm humble and that I don't brag about my success. She probably wishes I would say less about it.
It's always different when we're in our own home, right? So Jesse, can you fill us in a little bit more on this story behind the 1031 exchange? I would love to learn more about it.
Yeah, no, I love to tell it. It was a funny experience for me, and I had literally no idea. I took the call. Somebody cold calls me, not cold calls me, but came through Lead Simple. I call them back and this guy says, "Hey, can we have a call? It's West Coast time. I want to invest." And I don't know, it might have been literally maybe my fifth customer, like real even sales call. I don't know. I don't remember, but I remember he started, and I take the call later at night, 7:30 my time, because it's West Coast time for them. And he starts talking about needing to do a 1031 exchange and coming out of Southern California. And he says, "Well, you don't have to pay any capital gain." Because I said, "What's a 1031 exchange? Can you repeat that?" And I'm writing it down, and I have zero idea what it is. And he explains to me that, you can sell property and not have to pay capital gains taxes on it. And so I think that I'd been given some miraculous new insider investor knowledge. And I come running into the office the next day, all proud of myself, thinking that I had just cracked the code on something. And why didn't everybody know about this? And run into my boss's office, and she's looked at me like, okay, yes, we know what a 1031 exchange is. Needless to say, it was a humbling experience for me, but it was also exciting because I did learn a whole piece of somebody who tried to kind of ham and egg through this real estate investing thing for a number of years now. Property management being one of the things I had zero idea about what I was doing. It turned out to be a really fun experience and a successful experience. We connected him with a real estate agent, a local real estate agent, got the referral on that. Got him a good one who happened to specialize in 1031 exchanges. I called different ones and found the realtor that said, "Yeah, actually, I advertise in different states for people who want to 1031 their money into Arkansas." I said, "You're the one, I think, that we'll be referring this deal to." And it worked out great. They got 7 properties bought in an extremely tight market. Single family properties have been perfect to manage. That one was 1.4 million. I was just off the phone with them last night. Almost a year later, it was kind of deja vu, but it was really rewarding to now be kind of looking back at a year time and say, here's a perfect example of a long track customer, a long track relationship. And that's what we do in this business, build those residual customers and that residual stuff, because this one is bigger than the last one. That was 1.4, this is 2.3, and he has another one next year. And so that's I told my boss when I got that first sign, they came through about 10 o'clock when I was sitting in my bed, and my phone pops up, boom, the sign management agreement comes through the phone, And I remember because it just went, and I said, "Man, if we never do it, I may work in this business 10 more years and not do one that is this perfect." They didn't ask for any concessions on their management fees. They did the deal straight as written. It was just wonderful.
That's awesome. As a salesperson myself, there is almost nothing better than watching that no vacation coming in saying the deal has been signed. I love to hear this different kind of story from you. I talk to BDMs with Coffee with Closers all the time, and it's so great to hear the differences that you guys get to experience. So Jesse, tell me how you came to RPM First Choice. What is the story there?
Well, like most of my stories, they don't make any sense, and they come. You just never know how I'm going to get wherever I end up. So, not many people are in college in their 40s, but I found myself there. I always kind of had an entrepreneurial spirit and had different businesses here and there, but I'd never finished up that college degree, and so I was doing that. The COVID came along, and it just all worked out, and so that's what I was doing, and did not have a 9-to-5 job or a W-2 job at that moment. I'd actually looked into franchises to open. With my wife and I were going to open a franchise, and one of the things that kept coming up was property management franchises, and we actually looked at a couple, and one of them was RPM, and it didn't take long for us to figure out that we said, well, not quite ready to bite something like that off. Why don't I just finish this school thing up, but not really sure what I was going to do as a result. And so I was just cruising the job boards, and sure enough, boom, this position popped up just on Indeed. And I noticed a couple of things right away. One of the things that stood out to me, one, was that I really liked RPM. I'd gotten to know a little bit about the company through my own due diligence phase. And so I was excited about that. But I noticed that they were like, don't mess with this, don't mess with that, put together a video. I said, well, that's cool. That's cool. I can do that. That sounds good. And I realized, and it plagues me to this day. Kristen will tell you, it absolutely plagues me today. One of the tools we're supposed to use ad nauseum is videos. I can't make a video to save my skin. I absolutely can't do it. I'm terrible at it. I have this tool here that's supposed to help me. It just sits on my desk like an alien. So I sat there for a weekend, and I made a video probably 150 times to make I think we only had a 2-minute video. I can't remember how long it was, but for me to try to get that in there and to figure it out, and then to upload it on YouTube, I might as well have been doing a dissertation in my mind. I mean, it was like, here I am about to graduate college with a really high GPA, and I can't figure this out for any amount of money. But it actually was a little bit fateful, because sure enough, I couldn't upload it, but I Googled, RPM first choice, and got the local number, and I called the office, and was able to connect with somebody there. And of course, I didn't know that RentScale was different than, I didn't know anything about it. So I started talking to my future boss as if she was doing the interview. And so I don't know if just my sheer clumsiness got me noticed or what, because I wouldn't stop calling, and then I was able to do the interview. And I remember, he's not with the company anymore. He's off doing some fun things, but Jason was one of the first to, and I'll turn 47 this year. So I'm not very hip, put it that way. And so this whole Zoom culture and this whole thing has been an adjustment for me. So I show up to my very first Zoom meeting, or my very first video meeting. I got a tie on, and I got a suit. I'm all buttoned up, and they're like in sweat hoodies, and like everybody's laid back, but so that was a fun experience, and it took, it had been a long time since I'd been through anything like that, but the whole thing was professional, fun, and challenging, and it was a good precursor to what the job was going to be, of something that was very intriguing, very challenging at times, intimidating at times, but a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know that through our assistance in the hiring process, that is a huge key to make sure that whoever is applying for the job is committed, that they want the job. Because video is huge to this day, and it will be huge from here on out. And so it is important for others to be willing to do that. And so the fact that you were willing, and I know you say that you're not super hip, but my goodness, Jesse, video is not easy. Anybody can tell you that. I think this video that we're making right here, I can tell everybody that we have probably redone it and added in new video for 2 or 3 times now. And so, but there's the willingness to do it is where it all starts. And so that is exciting. I'm glad you were able to go through that experience and have a good experience, even with an alien on your desk.
And I think I literally just got done with I told you in school, I think I literally just got done with like a 10-day intensive, one of these, what they call an intercession course, but it was called Intro to Filmmaking, okay, in college. And I still just, no help.
As a BDM right now, how are you as far as doing videos today, like when it comes to prospecting and working those leads?
One of the first quarterly skill devs that I was a part of at RentScale, I made a commitment to get better at it, and it is, I don't know, I believe it's always good to have something that you're committed to that you still have to do. If there should always be something in my inbox, whether it be BombBomb or Loom or whatever, and it's played havoc with me. And so as we develop our business development plans for 2022, I have to recommit to doing that, because I've seen from others what an effective tool it is. There's no kidding myself about it. I have what I need, and my company now is, I don't have to, whatever they're great about. If I need to get whatever account I need to get or whatever, they go for it and do it. So I have no excuses. Mm-hmm. Back then I could at least say, well, my boss doesn't want to get a Boom Boom account right now, or BombBomb, whatever it is called. Sorry, but so that's why it won't work for me. If I only have the right tools, then I could do it. So no more excuses. No excuses. That's what it said on our shirt. So I need to put on that shirt and do my videos. Yes, I expect a picture posted to RentScale with your no excuses shirt. But that's awesome, Jesse. I appreciate you putting forth that effort. You do make use of BombBomb. I mean, BombBomb has to be a lot easier for you, I assume, than having to go out and create that video with your alien on your desk. Can you lead me into where you're at as far as business goes today? Sure. Yeah, in addition to the client I was just talking about, who is now about 30 days from their buying period, so that's going to be in December. So that looks to be good business for December. But for the last month, a little longer than a month, an existing client also is expanding their portfolio a great deal, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. I don't feel that I jinx it at all. By saying that we're really close to basically the management's been agreed upon. If the sales go through, then it'll be a total 3 properties, a total of 72 doors, which will be by far and away the biggest transaction I've been a part of. Mm-hmm. It'd be one of the bigger ones that our company's seen. We've done a few deals bigger than that at one time in the history of our company, but that'd be right up there. So it's pretty exciting. I love your outlook on it, to where you're speaking life. You have this vision board and you are speaking life into this deal. So do you want to tell me a little bit about your thought process there? Well, I don't know if it'll help you or anybody else, but it helps me of not just in sales, but in a lot of situations in life. And I used to not be very good at this when I was younger, but as I've gotten older and through different methods and readings and whatever, but this focus on, controlling what I can control and not controlling what I can't control, and trying to, some use the serenity prayer or whatever you want to do. But there's a lot of value to that for me in looking at something and say, okay, genuinely, do I control, the outcome of this? And I look at a deal like the 72 doors, and there are so many parts of it that I absolutely have zero control over. I don't know if the structure is sound, or if the inspection is going to blow something up or whatever. I can't control any of that, but I can enjoy the ride, and I can share the experience, and I can do my due diligence, and I can look at my to-do list and say, okay, am I doing everything today in this moment or on this day to nurture the deal or control just my part of it. Mm-hmm. And once I've done that, then it's almost kind of, it's refreshing and reassuring to me to say, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't have to worry about it anymore. If it happens, fantastic. If it doesn't happen, then I've already gained knowledge. I know I learned something about, I got to go on the inspection, for example, on one of the bigger ones. And I got to learn more from a structural engineer about drainage and foundations than I'd ever known. And so if nothing else comes of this, then I've learned that, and there's value in that.
And I love hearing that, because you're right. In order to be a trusted advisor in the space, you always need to be learning, and you got to work for it at times. And so, I mean, just as anything in life, there really is, like you were saying earlier, there is zero guarantee of if something's going to happen or not, but you know that you did your job, and that is what you can do, and that's what you can control.
Right.
Tell me a little bit more, Jesse. I know how business is going today. You got the 72 doors in the pipeline. I mean, things are happening, moving and turning. How are you getting your leads today? How, maybe share the lead sources that you're utilizing.
Yeah, well, I'll be the first to say that I lucked into a really good situation with the company that I was able to join. RPM First Choice has been around, over 10 years now. They had a pretty good sized portfolio when I came on board. So their work in the SEO space and with their website coordinating with national to make sure that our organic search results are good and our website presence is strong, our web presence is strong. That gives me admittedly a huge advantage. And so that's still our main source of I think just people calling because we're the first one on the list. And some of that is paid, but most of that's organic. And that's I have to give a shout out to the operations team in that area who do a great job of making sure we're getting reviews and really following up on, taking care of our clients and our tenants and all those things. So in that way, I can't take credit for a lot of that. So those leads come that way. And then, but we do get, some strong word of mouth. I've been around long enough now and had some good enough clients to where I'm able to get, believe it or not, hey, you helped so-and-so with the property and says it's going great. And so we've got some too, and that's good. And this year, I plan on leaning, getting back into more community stuff, networking events and community involvement, because obviously with the deal, those were with the COVID, those were less, but they're opening back up now. And, but I have, to be perfectly honest, have been, it's almost like drinking from a fire hose. I came in and here they come,
Nothing wrong with that. That is something to definitely be grateful for. And
good problem to have.
Yes, absolutely a good problem to have. So if you're not having maybe the challenge of leads coming in, Jesse, do you have a biggest sales challenge that you're dealing with today?
Yeah, I mean, I lose more business to just pure price, and I know that the psychology, or I don't know, but I'm learning the tricks and the psychology and of explaining value and value add, and I see with my own two eyes in the marketplace. We pick up properties all the time from budget managers, and I see the results of budget management. People have no business in the property management space get in there and they come in and quote a half price rate, and they give not even half price service. And it is the biggest challenge, and it's the one I have to be the most careful to not get personally invested in as a small investor myself, as somebody who has felt personally the burn financially and personally of poor property management. And what that can do to a property and a pocketbook. I can, I take it sometimes too personally. I'm like, I get it, but I can just see it in some, I can hear it in their voices, or I can see it, and it's just all they want to know is the price. And so learning that it's okay, I'm not going to close every deal. If I close 3 out of 10 deals, I'm a superstar, right? Like that's a high conversion rate. So I got to understand that 7 of those deals or 6 of those deals, if they tell me 30 is great, then I'm going to want 40. But at least 6 of those deals, or maybe 5, even on my very, very best day, are going to get away, right? So with, that's my biggest challenge really is I would love to be able to wave a magic wand and somehow just say, get them all and just say, okay, what you want us to do for 2%? We're going to do that for 6 months, but we can't. And I have to just watch and just let them go and just like, okay, I know where you're headed. I've been there. I've got painful personal experience about what it is you're about to get yourself into, and just allow that to happen. So that's obviously the challenge is price. only price focused, because we aren't the cheapest, and we don't intend to be the cheapest. We don't need to be the cheapest, because we don't give the least amount of service by any means.
There is value when it comes to working with target clients, you know, and so sometimes the ones that just don't have the right mindset need to be let go, even though you know how much you can help them. It's just not a good fit for a partnership in that sense. And so with this challenge that you're dealing with, Jesse, is there any special tips or tricks that you've learned from maybe the Scale Club community that you would want to share in this situation?
Well, I think that, you know, in that, I think just helping me bring that into perspective, the fact that, you know, 3 yeses versus 7 no's is a great ratio. And learning how to not get, and that's purely from, you know, that starts with the RentScale team and the one-on-one coaching, and just you know, kind of being taught to nurture those deals with dignity and with respect for them. And it's like, yeah, I may know that you're about to get into a firestorm, but I'm not going to be personal about it. I'm going to offer you, you know, you come back anytime, and genuinely wish them the best. Genuinely wish them, try to let go of that cynicism and just like, oh, you didn't go with us, so I hope you get what you deserve. And you know, it's not you know, for a new salesperson or something that can be, you know, I can take it real personal. So that's been a great, you know, it's just a good community full of, you know, like I said, it starts with leadership there at RentScale and in our company too, of, you know, treat people with kindness and don't let it, you know, it's never personal, never personal.
I personally am also like that. I want to always wish somebody the best. If I know that I can help them do something, and I'll do everything I can to help prove that to them. But if they just can't see it in the end, absolutely. There's nothing that's going to come good of it if you're just so ugly towards them afterwards. And yeah, wishing them the best and always letting them know that we are here whenever they're ready, right? And is there any last recommendations that you have for other property management BDMs that you'd like to share with us too?
Like I said, when it goes to the 1031, you know, fake it till you make it. Just get out there and do your best, and be honest and be kind, and understand you're going to make mistakes, but don't let that stop you from, you know, you're going to get hung up on. You're going to make a cold call. Somebody's going to holler at you. Somebody's going to get mad at you, and that's okay, because also somebody's going to give you a big deal somewhere down the road if you're persistent, probably sooner than later.
It does pay off in the end. That hard work, always going after it, and not taking on any clients that are not a good fit for you. It's going to be worth it in the end. So, but thank you so much, Jesse. We appreciate you being in Scale Club. We appreciate all of the hard work that you're doing, and appreciate you coming on, sharing your stories with us here at Coffee with Closers.
No, it was wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So a quick recap for you guys. Not everyone finds themselves in college at the age of 40, but that is where Jesse was. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do with his life, so he'd start looking amongst the job board, and here this position was on Indeed. He already knew he liked RPM, as we heard. He was doing some research on them already. But the most important thing about this application is that it required a video. And there may be a little exaggeration, but at the same time, we know it can be very real. He made about 150 videos over a weekend, and he also reached out to RPM First Choice and connected with the owner right off the bat. So he does not claim to be hip, but quickly learned the lay of the land. This video through the application, the interview proves to us that someone is committed and that they are serious about the job right off the bat. We all know how important video is in this day and age. Jesse
had all the tools he needs in order to use video, and he's ready to put on his RentScale shirt and live by the no excuses rule. I personally loved the story he told about his new transaction that he has closed, by the way. It was 3 properties with a total of 72 doors. It is the biggest transition that he has ever been a part of. And he is just positive throughout the entire process, focusing on what you can control and not letting what you can't control get you down. Not every person you talk to is going to close. Sure, it would be nice if everyone was a perfect fit when you talk to them, but that's not reality. We all know exactly how that goes when you bring on an unqualified client into your realm. They can cost you more money than what it's worth, or that you even made on them in the end. There is definitely value in being confident as a trusted advisor, taking every chance to learn and setting up those who you talk to for success. And leads may not be a challenge for Jesse at this time, but losing business to price is one. They pick up properties from budget managers, and he sees the results in the budget management, quoting half price rates and not even producing half price service. We've all seen it. And so it's important to guide your prospects in the right direction, but not get ugly to them or about them when they do finally make their decision against your aggressive suggestions. They can always come back later on down the road, and they will remember the advice that you gave them back then and understand that at that point, you knew what you were talking about from day one. You don't need to be the cheapest when you provide value. And that is why shifting your focus to target clients is a great use of your time. So here I am wishing you the best. We are here hoping that this hard work, always going after that carrot with the fruits of your labor flourishing in the end. This is Drea, your host, Coffee with Closers.